Hi there, this is Siddesh this side, and today we're going to take a look at the interview follow-up process and the interview follow-up tracker. So we'll take a close look at the purpose of the process and the purpose of the tracker. The interview follow-up process is a very systematic process which helps recruiters, which helps you step by step to take interview confirmations for all the interview stages from the candidates and update the client anchor or the key account manager to keep the clients readily informed and updated about the interviews happening on the next day. With diligent adherence to this process, a recruiter can reduce the number of unfortunate interview drops. Furthermore, if by any chance a candidate backs out or drops for any reason, the process defines an action plan which further helps us to avoid a major escalation from the client's end. Let's take a brief look at the process and understand how a recruiter must adhere to each stage to keep the things clear between the candidate and the client. So we've laid out an action plan here to this process to cover all the checks for all the interview modes. Let's dive into the content and take a look at the first stage. The first stage here says the interview confirmation between the recruiter and the candidate for all stages. What does this mean? A confirmation must be taken on an email or WhatsApp or SMS or call, which can be easily recorded and documented. These points mean that be it any stage, irrespective of any stage, a confirmation on candidates' availability for the interview must be taken over either of these platforms, preferably a call, which can be easily documented. Now, the purpose behind this is to safeguard the recruiter and the firm against any unfortunate or untimely interview dropouts. We have mentioned the links as well here. For example, if you click on this link, it will take you to the interview tracker. We'll come to that part later. The responsibility for this activities is that of a recruiter. Timeline. Now this must be done or this must be taken, the confirmation must be taken when you, a recruiter, takes the interview slot from the candidate. Coming to the next stage, a day prior to an interview, the recruiter must call the candidate and record the call to inquire on the parameters. Now what are these parameters? First is candidate's availability for the interview. We have covered that. So be it any round, be it any stage, be it first, second, third or the final round, you as a recruiter must take the interview confirmation, which can be documented, which can be recorded of course and documented. The second point here says the recruiter must schedule all the interviews and send the calendar invites if the client has not sent already from RMS. You as a recruiter must schedule the interviews from the RMS. Now RMS is an ATS and we've already covered some parts of RMS in our previous videos. So you'll schedule the interviews from RMS, which will automatically sync with the Google Calendar. You will know more about this sub-task or sub-process once you go through the RMS guidelines and get hands-on experience. The next point says, what does the candidate know about the client and job description? In the parenthesis, we've said only before the first round. Very important point. Before the first interview rounds, the candidate must know about the client and about his own roles and responsibilities. It is of utmost importance for you to check with your candidate about these parameters. Right? Let's take an example that if your candidate is being interviewed at the client's place and the client asks him about the company, about the product or the services, and the candidate is completely blank. He is not aware of what the company does or what the company is into. It doesn't give out a good impression, right? So for that reason, you must check with the candidate whether he or she knows about the client and is crystal clear about his own or her own job roles and responsibilities. The next point here says the availability and functionality of the interview tool, example Zoom, WebEx, Teams, Skype. You must do an actual check with the candidate for the app software installed on his system or her system and is functioning properly for all the rounds. What does this point entail? It means that before any interview round where a candidate is expected to join through either of these platforms here, be it Zoom, WebEx, Skype, or any other video calling software for that matter, it is important for you as a recruiter to check the functionality of the software so that the candidate can smoothly join the call without any hassle or delay. For this, you can even personally get on a call with your candidate using the same tool and do some basic checks like candidate's background, his or her voice pitch, the audio clarity of the tool. Also advise your candidates to come on the call in formals. Again, the responsibility is that of a recruiter. The timeline is a day prior to the interview, irrespective of holidays and weekends. What does this mean? Let's take an example. If the interview is scheduled for Monday, so it should not so happen that you take a confirmation on Friday and there is a gap of 2 days. Since the succeeding days are Saturday and Sunday, there is no clarity what happens in these 2 days, and there is no confirmation from your side. So even if it's a Sunday, you must spare about 10 to 20 minutes, take a confirmation from the candidate and send it to the client anchor. Now, when you do that, it will actually show the dedication of the recruiter towards his or her job, and at the same time ensure that the candidate is on track, which will ultimately lead the candidate to attend the interview without any issues on the next day. Coming to the next point here, update the interview follow-up tracker. Refer to the link in the next cell with the candidate. Update the interview follow-up tracker with the candidate. What does this mean? Now we have spoken about adding the data to the interview follow-up tracker. Let's take a look at how we can do that and who all are responsible to manage that data. This is how the interview follow-up tracker looks like. The purpose of this tracker is to add and store the active interview data which is shared by the team manager, which will be shared by your team manager with the client anchor or the key account manager over an email, and which is further shared with the clients a day before or a day prior to the interview. Let's take a live example here. If I'm a recruiter and today I have spoken with my candidate, I have taken the confirmation over a call, right? Immediately after that, I'll come to this tracker. I'll add my name here. I'll add my candidate's name along with the client's name here. Role is design engineer. It's first round. Interview date is 16th March 2021. I'll mention the time. So this confirmed status will be put by your team manager here once he or she confirms it from you. This data will be taken by your team manager along with these headers, and it will be sent by the team manager or your team leader to the client anchor, which is further shared to the clients a day before the interview. We've added the data. Now coming to the next point. The next point here says, conduct a daily verification of the recorded calls to ensure that the parameters have been taken care of. Now the responsibility for this particular task is, it lies with the team manager or the team leader. He or she will listen to the audio recordings that you've taken to verify the candidate's availability. for the next day. It can be either a call recording or an email or an SMS or a WhatsApp message, which can be, just like we had spoken earlier, which can be conveniently documented. Once that is done, come to the next point. After the verification has been done from your team manager or team leader, he or she will update the status in the interview follow-up worksheet. Right? The point here says update the verification status in the interview follow-up worksheet and email the same to the client anchor for the interviews happening on the next day. Again, the responsibility is that of your team manager or team leader. They will take that data from the interview follow-up worksheet and they will send that data to the client anchors by the end of the day for the interviews happening on the next day. We have laid out a timeline here. So email to be sent a day prior to the interview by 6 p.m. and repeat another follow-up in the morning of the interview day. Coming to the sixth point, send the interview confirmation data report to the client. The responsibility is that of a client anchor. Again, a day prior to the interview by 6:30 p.m. Team manager send the data by 6, which is further shared to the client by the client anchor by 6:30 p.m. Now the client anchor will share this data with the client, which will again reinforce that yes, these are the interviews happening tomorrow for these candidates who have confirmed their availability. You see, right, how each step is sophisticated and what an important role each step plays to ensure the smooth transition of all the interview rounds. Coming to the next point, check with the TMs, check with the team managers and individual contributors. Now, individual contributors are the people who work independently without any team manager or any team leader. These are senior people, the senior most people of the organization. Check with the TMs and ICs whether the interview follow-up report has been sent to the client anchor, and check with the client anchor whether the interview follow-up report has been sent to the client. The responsibility is that of the recruitment coordinator. Earlier, the team manager sent this data by 6, is supposed to send this data by 6, which is further shared with the client by the client anchor by 6:30 p.m. And now we have added an additional level of check here, which is done by our recruitment coordinator. The recruitment coordinator will check with the TM as well as the client anchor if the confirmation data has gone to the client or not. This further ascertains that we do not miss out on sending the data to the client. Let's come to the next section now to see what happens on the interview day. Now, you may have different modes of interviews for which the checks have been written down accordingly here. Let's come to the first point. For any face-to-face round, irrespective of the stage, ensure that the candidate starts journey at the right time with respect to the interview location with sufficient additional time in hand. The responsibility is that of a recruiter. The timeline is this should be done on the interview day. Now, what does this point mean? For face-to-face rounds, make sure your candidate leaves his or her place on time with sufficient additional time in hands to reach the interview venue or the client's place on time. For example, if the candidate resides or lives at point A, and if he or she has to reach point B for the interview at 11 a.m. Now, the distance between these 2 points is 3 hours. So in that case, the candidate must leave his or her place not at 8 o'clock, but a bit earlier, say somewhere around 7:30 or 7:15. It is very, very important to keep this additional time in hand should the candidate come across any inopportune event or incident that will prevent him or her to reach the interview venue on time. Right? Okay. So coming to the next point here. Recruiter must take a reconfirmation for all the interviews from the candidates by 9 a.m. or 30 minutes prior to the scheduled time, whichever comes earlier. And the same must be communicated to the client anchor. In case if the candidate is unresponsive or has stopped responding to you or is facing any other difficulty, bring it to the client anchors or key account managers and your team managers notice immediately. A reconfirmation on the day of the interview must be taken on a call again, and the same must be recorded. The responsibility is that of a recruiter, again by 9 a.m. or 30 minutes prior to the scheduled time. What does this point say? It says that you as a recruiter must take the reconfirmation of all the interviews from the candidate either by 9 a.m. in the morning or 30 minutes prior to the scheduled time, whichever comes earlier. And the same must be communicated to the client anchor. It's important to communicate the same to the client anchor to maintain the clarity and transparency between the stakeholders. For example, if the interview was scheduled at 10:30 a.m. and you've done your regular check, you've checked with the candidate, that candidate is on the track, and the same is communicated to the client anchor so the client anchor knows what's happening in the background. Since the client anchor is a person who bridges the gap between the recruiters and the clients. And that is the reason, for that reason, it's very important to maintain the transparency with the client anchor or the key account manager. Coming to the next point, recruiter must proactively check 15 minutes before the interview if the candidate has logged in and everything is okay. The responsibility is that of a recruiter. The timeline is on the interview day, 15 minutes prior to the scheduled time. What does this mean? That you must check 15 minutes before the interview if the candidate has logged in, is prepared for the interview, and if everything is okay at his or her end. Coming to the next point, if the candidate has not received the call from the client even after 5 minutes post schedule time, it should be immediately highlighted to the client anchor or the key account manager on a call. The responsibility is that of a recruiter. On the interview day, highlight within 5 minutes post schedule time. To elaborate this point, in case if your candidate does not receive the call even 5 minutes after the scheduled time, for example, if the interview is scheduled at 12 p.m. and the candidate has not received the call by even 12:05, you must immediately bring this to the client anchor's notice so that the client anchor or the key account manager can communicate the same with the client, and we can do the arrangements accordingly, or we can postpone the interviews accordingly. That brings me to our last point of the process, which is nothing but what happens after the interview. We all know the answer. It's the feedback. So the point here says, recruiter should take feedback from the candidate on the quality of the interview and the questions asked, as it may help prepare other subsequent candidates. Again, the responsibility is that of a recruiter 30 minutes after the interview. What does this point entail? It means that you must ask the candidate about the quality of the interviews, what kind of questions were asked. Now this will help you prepare your other candidates who are in the pipeline for the same interview or for the same client. We wrap it up with that. I hope you all have understood this simple process, and most importantly its importance, and how does it help us manage all our interviews effortlessly. You will know more once you start working and following this process. You will understand its nuances once you get a hands-on experience, a practical approach of following this process, following up with the candidates, adding the data to the tracker, communicating with the internal stakeholders, communicating with the client anchors, team managers. So thank you, and I will see you in the next video.